Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Wednesday, November the 17th. The year's 2021. Let's talk trading. Indicators, TRO HL5, Part 2 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Walmal, I think we ran out of time yesterday when we were talking about HL5, so I guess we need to kind of pick it up where we left off.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday I was talking about the HL5 in particular, going and drawing those, the high-low and the low-high boxes out on the screen and just how effective that is. But that, it's just a wonderful tool for that. And, I want to go and maybe talk about how I used it even today on some trading that I used today. What happened was I had gotten into a trade and I had gone short because it had drawn the boxes on the screen, and what had happened was it drew the boxes on the screen, and it looked like to me that it was going to extend further down. And I went and jumped in a trade, and my friend TRO, he jumped into that same trade. I think we did it independently of each other, and but the thing is, because those boxes are there, I saw the price go the other direction. And because it went the other direction and broke the other side of the box, I left my short in place. And what I did was I then went long out of the other side of the box. But what I did was, and this is admittedly so, this is a more advanced way of trading. But instead of going and just going in with another trade, and then canceling my first trade and taking a small loss or whatever it would have been, I went in with twice the size, going in the other direction. Yeah, and my goal on that was the first trade was to go and hedge the losing position, and then if the movement is going in my direction now I can make money on the other side. And what's nice about the HL5, I can see that on the chart, and it makes it very, very clear where I'd want to go and do that. And eventually what it did was it ran up, and it kept on pushing the upper box higher and higher and higher. Then once I saw that, hey, that box is not being pushed higher anymore, we've come to a place of equilibrium, so to speak, that's when I went and got out of my two longs. I kept my short on at that point because I had made enough money to more than make up for the loss that was in place, and I looked for another opportunity to go short from that place, looking for a proper signal, and only taking proper signals. I took a proper signal, and then I was able to run it down. I never got down to where my actual entry was, but because of that new short that was up on the top, I was able to go and cancel out that loss. So I got the effect of two wins, and one tie, and that's just a nice way to use those boxes because you can see that on the chart. Now I will say that it takes some practice doing that. It took me probably, I don't know, TR, you can go and hold me accountable on this, but it probably took me about 2 months of playing with it to get it down right, but it can be a really, really effective tool.
Yeah, exactly.
But the thing, and the nice thing about it is, I called it yesterday, your Swiss Army knife. It really is your Swiss Army knife because there's just so many things in there, that allow you to go in so many tools. And the nice thing about it is you can turn each and every one of these things on and off depending on who you are as a trader. Now, if you're a new trader or you're not profitable yet, just pick one thing. I'm just going to put that out there. Pick one thing, and trade it and do it and use it until you become successful at it. And once you've done that, then you can start adding other things. The problem with, here's the one problem with the HL5, and that is that, there's so many things in there. You can go and get information overload, and you can get yourself into trouble because I'm getting a signal to go long, I got a signal to go short, I got a signal to go do nothing, and you can wind up getting into that type of a mess, or you can look at it from the other perspective. I got a signal to get out, I got a signal to stay in, I got a signal to do nothing, sit on my hand, whatever it may be, and the next thing you know, you've now confused the matter tremendously, and now you got a major problem on your hands. And you took a signal because of this reason, you took a signal for that reason, and the next thing you know, you're in trouble. So You know, if there's any one thing that's bad about HL5, it's the fact that, you know, if you're not disciplined enough, you know, to go and stick with whatever you're going to do, you can find yourself in a heap of trouble. You know, you can wind up, you know, I don't know if they still say this, you know, but there was a period of time there, you know, they would say charts on drugs, you know, and they,
Oh yeah.
you know, you can very easily do that with HL5. You can put all those signals on, turn them all on to the point at which you can't even find the candles on the chart anymore. You know, and that's a danger with this tool. But at the same time, the nice thing about that tool is that you have all those possibilities. You can go and, you know, customize what you do and make it work for you. You know, and I like to use tools like HL5 maybe a little bit differently than some people do. I like to use the tool from the perspective of put the tool in a chart. Okay, I've noticed something. You know, when A, B, and C occur, I can go and make money off of it, and put the tool on the chart to show it, and so that you can see it, so it becomes, you know, apparent for you. And what's nice about the tool is if you use it right, it can be like, you know, training wheels, because then you can go, once you've done it long enough, what happens is, at least for me anyway, is that you can now start seeing those things, and you don't have to think about it. You can just look at the chart, and you can know condition A, B, and C have been met. It is now time for me to go and press the buy button or press the sell button, whatever it may be. And that's what I love about the tool, is because it makes it easy for me to do that. It's sort of like, you know, I have, you know, the high low and the low high boxes on the chart. You know, I don't need them on the chart, but, you know, I have them on the chart. And so where that becomes you know, really nice, it's like last week I had to go and take a family member to the doctor, and I'm sitting in the doctor's office, and I'm trading off my tablet. You know, and the nice thing about it was I was able to trade off my tablet where I don't have HL5, because unfortunately, you know, MT4 indicators don't work on those type of platforms. But, you know, I was able to see those things, and I was still able to trade because I gotten so used to just seeing it. And, you know, the indicators literally burned into my brain, you know, this is what you're looking for, and you see it over and over and over again. You know, and that expression, training wheels, you know, it's so true. You know, the reality, you want to go and teach your little kid how to ride a bike, you put some training wheels on it, and then what you do is you just ride the bike with the training wheels. Eventually they get their balance, and then you pull one wheel off, and then, you know, they do pretty good, but they still a little bit susceptible to falling, but you keep on going, and then you finally pull the last one off. And sometimes as a parent, you pull the last one off without even telling them you pulled the last one off, you know, and they just go off and go and do what you got to do. Well, HL5 can do the same thing for you.
Yeah, well, the thing is, though, it's not the indicator. You know, it's if somebody turns on every option, that's on them. That's not the problem with the indicator.
Right. It's exactly. I guess what I want to say is that the danger is for a newbie, you know, is that, you know, the reality is, look at all these toys, and next thing you know, you're just seeing shiny objects everywhere you turn, you know, and you say, oh, look, if I had just used this, I could have made money here. Oh, look, if I just used that, look how much money I could have made. Good grief. There's enough pips to go in the day. I mean, we've moved about 85, 86 pips today, something like that. You know, you could have easily made, you know, if you're looking to make 10 pips a day, there was room enough to do it, and you don't have to take every trade from every method. Now, you may need to go based on statistics, take every trade that your method goes and puts out there, but you do not need to take every trade that every method puts out there.
Yeah, so yeah, and if you noticed here, if you would have taken the long out of the lower high box, you'd be up 8.9 pips at the moment. Now only 6.7, 7.1. But
right.
you know, and so here we're now entering a place where you could get short. And so your rules say you have to have a close in the box.
Correct. I want to close inside that box, and it takes me out of some trades. It takes me out of some good trades. But what I found for me is that if I don't do that, I have a tendency to go and overtrade. So by doing that, it prevents me from overtrading. So, and statistically, I don't think it makes any difference, you know.
Right.
So
Now,
I'll just go and wait.
yeah, and I just switched over to one of my trading screens where I have the HLLH scalper, where it will, you know, it'll tell me when it's time to trade and at what level. And let me just switch this back to the M1 chart, because that's usually the chart I like to look at. So you can see we got a 3-ball, just put in a 3-ball, but we've got the M5 bias on. And I know traders are going to know I've got all these multimeters up here. This is close minus open, close minus previous open, close minus previous high, close minus the previous low, and close minus the previous low. So, you know, if I'm looking at like these 3 columns. If there's more green than red here, then I should either stay in a long trade or not get in a short trade.
Right.
So right now, because I'm looking to do a reversal here because of the 3-ball, but this is telling me you have to wait. Plus, with the 3-ball, right now it has to wait to calculate. But I can see here we've had 2 pushes, but we've only broken out 1.5 pips. So, and if you notice, this is in red, this part's in blue, but this is in magenta, because I'm looking for, I think, at least 3 pushes, and the magenta is a highlight, which tells me, okay, let's go.
Yeah. Hey, Tiara, why don't you explain those pushes, because I think that some traders may not understand exactly what you mean by a push.
Okay. What I mean by a push is when the blue diamond, which is simulating the 3-ball, first appears, that's like it's appeared. So then if it pushes down, if price pushes down, that's a push. And so what the indicator's doing is counting the pushes. So you see we've got 1. Then there's another push right here, because this is higher than this, so that's 2. Then we got push 3, and then we got push 4. So we had 4 support pushes, but only a 4.4 breakout. And what's interesting is, and this is a trade I'm still in, is right here, right around this level, it was coming down. And at the time, over here, there was a trade, I think it was right here, that triggered. Or, yeah, somewhere around here that triggered. And you can see here how this dynamic support has just been putting in and staying in. And if you're wondering what all these other diamonds are, this is from the TRO Dynamic Fibs SR. So I'm looking for fib retraces on when I'm scalping, and I know price is going to usually come back to at least a 23 level here. So we could we've only got a couple of minutes left here, but you see here we got the short, but it happened so quick, you couldn't even have seen it. So sometimes you have to anticipate. So you know, Walmal likes to see a close in the box. I just want to get in the box, because like you saw how fast price moved, and it almost hit that level. You would have to have been really quick to get in and out, and the reason you have to be quick to get in and out is because you have more green over here. So you're just looking to take a pip. You're going against the H1 candle color. You can see here, close minus open. So if this is green, then the candle's green. If it's red, then the candle's red. And this is just telling you distance in pips. So right now you can see we've got an entry short here, but just using just the HL5 by itself without the scalper, you can see where the short entry is, and you can just wait to take it. Now, if you would take it, yeah, you'd be in a loss if you weren't quick enough. But that's okay, because you're just going to have to wait for a price action. And you'll hit a stop loss, and maybe you'll take profit. You don't know. But, you know, the fastest 15 minutes in trading's up once again. So if you have any questions on the HL5, especially on the higher low, lower high box, just send me a message either through the comment section or on Crestlick. So just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.